Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are looking at the full moon. It's on December 4. This full moon is at 13 degrees of Gemini. We're going to do a short overview and then we're going to look at your sign and what's ahead for you. So aspects are the way that planets talk to each other, and with this full moon at 13 degrees, we see that it is not really talking to any other planets except between themselves, the sun and the moon. Now, the orb that I give for planets talking to each other is 7 degrees, and that I give for even aspects like semi-sextile and inconjunct. For a sesquiquadrant or a semi-square, I squeeze it down to 3 degrees. But you can see on this aspect grid here that while the sun is opposing the moon, they're not making any other aspects save one, which is that exact square to the north node and the south node. So I cleared off everything else off the chart, and so you can see this very clearly, how it's actually forming a grand cross. So a grand cross is 4 squares with 2 oppositions. So we can see that here are our squares, and then our oppositions, and that forms our grand cross. And what a grand cross feels like is that you are in perpetual motion. The one square leads to the next square, leads to the next square, leads to the next square. So here with this full moon, what we have is there's a constant choice over and over and over again, or in succession perhaps, which is, are you going to choose what is familiar and easy, south node, or are you going to do your life path but do the harder thing, pull yourself out of your comfort zone and move forward? And involved in this is the sun and moon, which is one side the moon is needs and the other side the sun is ego. And so there's a combat, this part of you going on that says, this is my identity. And so if your identity is the explorer, the adventurer, you're going to go towards that north node. If your identity is, I don't want to do anything new, I want it to be comfortable and easy, you're going to go towards that south node. And so from this perspective, everyone is getting this choice right now over this 2-week period of saying, everything else doesn't matter. What are you going to do with your life? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? And that will help you shift your identity and fulfill your needs. Now, the other planets aren't quiet completely. They're talking with themselves. So think of this as like you're at a party and you could decide who you're going to be at that party. Are you going to be the person who goes out and mingles with all of these people that you don't know, maybe finding new connections for a relationship, a friendship, some sort of business collaboration? Or are you going to stay by the punch bowl and just watch the crowd and stay to yourself? So that's the north node, south node, sun, moon dynamic going on. The rest of the party that's going on is these other planets. And one of the things that we see is this ongoing energy of this grand trine, which is starting to form at the time of this full moon. Is this always so beneficial? No, I don't think so. I think that it makes things easier, and that means that it makes the good things happen easier. It makes the bad things happen easier. So the bottom line about this full moon is that you're either saying, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, I'm going to go do what I want to do. Or if you're waiting for the world to open up and the economy to shift, or for the phone to ring or something like that, it says don't do that, because you're doing that grand cross that says take action. And the way to take action is to go out and pursue what it is that you want. And as you do, you find out if that's truly what you want. Is it the north node that you're doing? Or is it the south node that you're doing? And if it's the south node, you say, that's not what I want. You let it go and you move on to the next thing. And you keep moving forward until this clunk, clunk, clunk of the grand cross turns into something that's smooth and moves you forward. Okay, Gemini, we want to look at your love and money predictions. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our house system to a 0 Aries chart. And then we are going to shift this chart so that Gemini is on the ascendant. And that will give us the general predictions for Gemini and Gemini rising. And of course, the first thing we see is this is your full moon. So that means you're halfway through your lunar year. So this is a really good time over this next 2 weeks to look back and see if you are heading in the direction that you had intended. How are you doing on your goals? What is your vision for what you want to have manifest over the course of this lunar year? And now at the halfway point, at the harvest point, now it's time to collect what you have been sowing, like you've grown your garden. What are you harvesting now, and what needs to shift or change to make this year the best year? Now, because of the Grand Cross that you're doing, this energy with the North Node and South Node, that energy is saying that you have a big opportunity to go forward or go backward. The backward is the safe, the familiar, the easy. That's not the direction that would be ideal at this time. The harder direction, the unknown, the adventure, the exciting way to go, that's actually the way to head. That is at the top of your chart right now. So that is putting something out there in the world for people to see, making some sort of announcement, launching your channel, your podcast, sending out your resume, putting your art up for people to see, playing your music where people can hear it. That energy is very strong for you right now. And then when we look at your planet ruler, it's sitting here in the 6th house. So that is about work and routines, what you do on a daily basis. What are the things that you're doing every day? And those things are manifesting your future. This being the full moon time, it's good to assess, all right, what happened over this last couple of weeks? Have you adopted some new behaviors like exercising every day or meditating that are really paying dividends? Or have you slipped into some old behaviors and you need to do a course correction? Now remember that this Mercury is doing a lovely grand trine. It's doing a trine with the Jupiter, which would like it to be easy. And it's doing a trine with the Saturn, which says, I'm willing to do the work. And these two are talking to each other. And that grand trine gives you some real opportunities to make your life better or to slip into some old habits. So you can make a course correction right now and come out of this period of time better and stronger. Now, when it comes to love relationships, specifically new love, we're very interested in what's going on with the 5th house and the 5th house ruler, and that would be Venus. And Venus is sitting here. It seems like it's so close to your planet ruler, but they're in a different sign and they're not talking to each other. So it's kind of like you go to the party and the person you're supposed to meet is there, but they're like on the other side of the pillar, and so you didn't see them, and then they walked that way and you walked this way, and so you missed each other. That's the energy that's going on here. And unless you're very diligent, or you take a friend with you and they say, hey, that person you want to meet, they're on the other side of the pillar. Like if you can get some help, or again, if you're very diligent, you can find that love. But the better part of this is putting yourself in a mindset of love, doing something on a daily basis that is going to put you in more relationship energy. And then you will see, as this Mercury climbs into your house of relationships, that you have more opportunities. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, it's an entirely different story, because we're very much interested in what the ascendant ruler is doing with the descendant ruler. And that would be Mercury and Jupiter. and they're doing a trine. So that is that the two of you are quite in harmony right now. There is some good communication happening, that you can be on the same page about things, that you just feel comfortable with each other. You feel like it's okay to just sit in silence if necessary, because you feel comfortable. So this is really good energy. You have very nice 7th house here. The energy also is lighting you up, so your partner may pay more attention to you, may give you more compliments, may tell you how much they care. So you have some good energy for this next 2 weeks for existing love relationships. Now, when it comes to your money, we're very much interested in what's going on with your 2nd house and the ruler of your 2nd house, which is the moon. So now it's always the moon. And that is really interesting because it means that your financial picture can always change. That more than anyone else, you can go through not just ups and downs, but opportunity after opportunity. So now the moon in your own sign says that you're the source of the money. You don't have to worry about the economy or the direction or what the pundits say or any of that. It's you and your skill set and your belief in yourself that moves you forward. This is about you taking the lead, about you being assertive, about you going in the direction that you want to go. Remember, that North Node is very elevated in your chart. And that's go big or go home. But don't go home, just go big. So this is very good energy, but it is about you focusing on what it is you want and then taking very directed action towards your goal. With an astrology reading, you get more information about who you are, your talents and abilities. You get to see what obstacles are ahead, and you can get a game plan for how to get past those obstacles and find success. So if you're interested in having a reading, there's a link in the description. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, we want to know what the 2nd house ruler does with the 8th house ruler, and that would be what's the relationship going on between Moon and Saturn. And right now there is no aspect between these two. They're not talking with each other. There's not even a hidden aspect going on. So that is that if you're doing something with your investments, it is more about doing the research or learning about the investments, or that you are watching what other people are doing about investments. You are not actually participating at this time. Now, this is just for 2 weeks, but it is a time where maybe in a business you're working on the back office, you're working on the website, you're rebranding or something like that. You're more focused on the mechanics of things rather than the actual, where's the profits. So it's okay that because this is kind of like the time where you're just digesting the information, you're seeing if this technique works, maybe trying a different way of advertising or some new wording and doing some slight test marketing, and all of this energy will line up better in the future. For profits, I should say. For profits, it lines up better in the future. It's still good now, but for profits. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, we're very interested in your 11th house and what the ruler of the 11th does with the ruler of the 2nd house. In this case, that would be Mars and Moon, and they're not talking with each other. Again, we have that same situation where it's really good for you to be focusing on other people and relationships that you have with them, but also your own assertiveness and your own goals, and be focused on that. And then in the meantime, as this energy gels and shifts, then you'll find your openings, but they'll be outside this 2-week period. So right now, the focus is really on you taking the lead of pushing forward on your goals rather than chasing down your supervisor for a bonus or a raise. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I recently did a class of predictions for 2026. There is now 17 videos that you can access. There is a link to get access to those videos. I also put out a weekly newsletter, an illustrated newsletter. And so if you like astrology and you love black cats, this is the newsletter for you. That newsletter is free. There's a link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.